So there's a lot of benefits to down tube shifters I don't think people recognize. Most people just think of this as some old archaic thing, the way things were back in the day. Things now are so much more advanced. We don't even need to look at it to see, there's nothing we can learn from it. But the truth is, down tube shifters are quite useful. And it's not just the mechanical simplicity, it's not just that they're a lot easier to operate than drifters with, let's say, gloves. There's actually a lot of advantages to them. The main one is that you basically learn a lot more about riding and balance on a bike and when to shift than you do with drifters. With drifters, you don't have to take your hands off the handlebars. You can shift in pretty much any time. With these, you really get to use more of the top and low end of each gear. You really get more in tune with your situation in terms of when is it safe to take a hand off the bars, and you also learn bike handling skills involved with such things. Now one could say, well, who cares nowadays? Unless you want a retro build, there's no reason to choose down tube shifters beyond the mechanical simplicity. There's nothing to break. It's basically a piece of metal with a pivot drilled in it. But I think if you started out, as a lot of us did back in the day, using down tube shifters, and then when drifters came along, you were able to use the benefits of the drifters more so, because you already had the skills there. It's kind of like if you start off shooting iron sights and then you go to optics versus just starting with optics. So something to be said for down tube shifters, and they are pretty cool. But they have a lot of advantages I don't think people realize. Plus, they just look awesome.